Hi, my name is Megan Gibbs, and I'm going to be giving a presentation on Nike Air Jordans. So the owner and creator of Nike Air Jordans was obviously Nike and Michael Jordan. And if you don't know who Michael Jordan is, he was the third-round draft pick by the Chicago Bulls in 1984. So his rookie year, Nike gave Jordan a contract that was 5 years and was worth $500,000 a year. So these were the first shoes that Michael Jordan created when he played for the Chicago Bulls. And this is the Chicago colorway. They're the Jordan 1 Nike, the Nike Air Jordan highs, And there's a league rule that you could only wear all white shoes, no matter what brand they were. And Nike said that they didn't care, that they would pay the $5,000 fine per game just so that Michael Jordan would wear their shoes and market them. So Nike Jordans were sold in retail in 1985, and Nike made $126 million in sales. The Jordan brand is now worth over $100 billion. So these were the first ones that were released in 1985, and the retail was $65. These are the newest version of the Chicago Jordan 1 highs, and they released in 2015, but the retail was $180. And the resale value for 2022 right now is $1,500. So these are some of the Nike Air Jordan 1s. These are the shattered backboards, which are orange and black. These are the inverted Jordan 1 highs, which are reverse white and black on each shoe. These are the UNC Jordan 1 lows, which Michael Jordan played at UNC. These are the Court Royal, and they're purple and black. And then these ones are the Travis Scott Jordan 1 highs, and these ones are the Jordan 1 Christian Dior. So Nike Jordan usually pairs up with, has in the past paired up with famous rappers, obviously, and famous brands to bring in more money and have more marketing. So they actually have over 23 different types of Jordan models because Michael Jordan was number 23, and they have around 32 different colorways. So these are also the Chicago's, but they're in the Jordan 4s. These are Jordan 5s, and these are Jordan 7s. So you might be asking or wondering why Jordans still have such a great retail value. And this is or resale value. And this is because of social status and clout that you get from wearing Jordans. Everyone wants Jordans. Jordans are the best sneakers around. They make you look cool. Everyone wants them. Everyone knows, that they have a big hype around them. So this started reselling apps and websites. So StockX and GOAT are where people can buy shoes and they resell them for a lot more, so that they're just making more money off of them. So when retail comes out and Jordans are around $125, they resell for over $200, and then can go all the way up to about 10 grand. Sneakers, this logo right here is the Sneakers app created by Nike, which is where most of Nike Air Jordans will drop. So what I mean by drop is that Nike comes out with more Jordans and they release them periodically in new colors and new styles, and they restock pretty much. But how that works is it's almost like a lottery. So they send out a notification on this app that says these certain shoes are dropping at 8 a.m., which is the same for everyone. 8 a.m. Mountain Time, so depends on the time zone. But so you have 10 minutes to enter this lottery. It doesn't charge you any money until you actually get the shoe. But there are a lot of robots that get involved in it, and it's honestly a big hype, and it's a big deal for when people want to get certain Jordans. And once they drop on sneakers, they don't come back for either a long time, or sometimes they just don't ever come back at all. Like the Chicago's, they're releasing another pair in 2023, but they haven't come out with a different version of Chicago Jordan 1 lows since 2015, or highs. And so the Sneakers app is where all the sneakerheads get their shoes, and then people will, if they buy them, they'll resell them on StockX and GOAT for a much higher price because they know people still want them. So retail versus resell. The average Jordan retail price is about $125 to $140. It varies. Sometimes it's $180. Depends on the shoe and the colorway. And then the average Jordan resale price is around $350. Sometimes you can get them cheaper, sometimes they're more expensive. It all depends on what shoe you want and what size shoe you are. So like a 9.5 in men is one of the most common shoes, so they're typically more expensive. But like if you were to get a 15 or like a 6 in men, they would be a lot cheaper because not as many people want those shoes. So it's all about like supply and demand and what people want and what people are willing to pay for. So here's a short video talking about how Jordan started the brand and why Nike picked Jordan and how they marketed for him.
Had a program. We were going to make Michael Jordan a marketing superstar. He was impressed with the boldness of the idea. And we went to dinner that night with his parents, and at the end of the dinner, his mother leaned over and said, "Don't worry about it, Michael will be wearing Nike."
So the deal, it was a 5-year deal. Michael got a certain amount of guaranteed money over a 5-year period. On top of that, he got a very large annuity that would start paying him after he retired from basketball, over $1 million a year. And he obviously got royalties on the shoe.
And it was a deal that actually, I believe, that we proposed to Michael, that they didn't propose to us. We proposed to Michael to sort of take the price down, how much cash we'd have to put out.
I asked Nike what their expectations were, and their expectations were in the 5-year deal. By the end of year 3, they hoped to sell $3 million worth of shoes heading into year 4. That was their expectation. And they sold $126 million in the first year.
Where I think we made a mistake is we didn't put a cap on it. And we didn't say, okay, after so many thousands of pairs, the royalty rate goes down. The thinking was, look at it, he sold that many shoes, great. As it turned out, that's what happened. They sold so many shoes, they didn't know what to do with it. And Michael made a lot of money.
So basically, Michael Jordan has been able to get clout and bring such great marketing to his shoes that everyone wants them, and they still have great retail and resale years later. And yeah, so here are some prices of Air Jordans. So considering inflation and Nike wanting to obviously make more money, in 1985, they were about $65, and that's the lowest they have ever been. And you can see this spike in 2013, and you can see how much more they cost from the span of 2010 to 2016 compared to all the other years. And so this is a chart with Nike and Jordan in basketball shoes. So Nike obviously has their own basketball shoes, but Jordan also has his brand that's also tied to Nike. And in 2011, only 30% of basketball shoes that were sold were Nike, and then 58.6% that were basketball shoes that were sold were Jordans. And you can see that people just want Jordans more than regular Nikes because of the status that it comes with and everything and the whole marketing that Jordan did to create his shoes and what they are today. This is a chart that's the global basketball shoes sold by NBA players in millions. So Michael Jordan, clearly a lot, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, and Derrick Rose. Most people don't even know who Derrick Rose is. But Michael Jordan has 2,000 million and then 25 million. And, LeBron James and Kevin Durant are still making 300 million, but nowhere close to, what Michael Jordan was able to do with his shoes. And this is because he has so many variations and so many other things that he's been able to do with his shoes that people still want to buy them. So these are women's shoes. They're the Nike Air Jordan 1 highs in bubblegum, also known as the Atmospheres. But if you don't know Michael Jordan, you wouldn't know this, but he does chew gum. Well, when he played basketball, he used to chew gum all the time. You could see him at the free throw line, just smacking on some gum mid-game. So he had fun with it and decided to put a little piece of gum, stepped on a piece of gum on the bottom of the shoes. So in conclusion, Jordans are more than just shoes. They're a sensation of elegance, excellence, and determination. And this is why Jordan has been able to be so successful with his shoes, because he built a hype around them, or like a culture around them. And then people still want to buy them. And he was playing back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, and people still want them in 2022. Kids look up to Jordan, and they always will, and Jordans are not going anywhere.